Page 38, Submarine Sailor Song. At the top of the page, they're introducing a new note for the bass clef. This is the note that's on the ledger line right below the bass clef, the staff, and that is an E. So you have middle C, and then you go down to C, and you go down to the next, it's an E. The bottom line on bass clef is a G. So one ledger line would be an E, and you already know two ledger lines is a C, I hope. So the E's right there. I'll leave it to you to know that note from now on. Let's look Sailor Song over. It's page and a half long, treble and bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature. It's in the key of C major. Make sure you go do the scale on C major, one octave up and down. I got the video on it, and it's the trill exercise that's the most important part of that. Make sure you do that trill exercise. It will help you to develop getting that thumb underneath. And stay relaxed. And 4/4 time signature. Take it one hand at a time. The right hand looks like just got the chords. You got a C chord at the beginning here. And then the third measure, thumb comes down one. That's it. Let's go over to page 39. Second line, now you come up, the thumb stays where it is, you come up to here. Then back C chord, and then this other thing. Well, it's a C, a D, and an F sharp. Okay. And then the next measure, that is an F natural. Thumb comes, because that sharp's only good for that measure, but it's good for the rest of that measure. So both of those F's in that third measure are sharped, but only for that measure. Then it's natural. They could have given you a natural sign in the next measure, but they don't need to because it's a natural anyway. That's fine. Left hand, well, the left hand gets the melody, and you're down here on this C, two ledger lines below. Now put your hand here. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So just cross over for one note. 2, 3. Now again, the fingering style that I use, one of the principles of it is I don't cross over the thumb if I don't have to. But we need the practice. So the fingering in the book is good here in the third measure. You cross over. That practice, that's good, but we don't need to do that if we don't want to. I have 2 G's in that measure. I have to play the first G with thumb and then the second finger here, and then just reach down third finger to go on. So I don't have to cross over the thumb. So again, starting with the third measure, I'm here, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now, at the bottom of the page, 38, you're here, and at the top page 39, they want third finger. Well, that's a stretch. I'm going to use second finger because I can reach it better. Of course, they know you can lift up, it's the end of a phrase, but when I first learn a piece of music, I like to try and connect everything because it forces me to get a fingering that allows me to do that. So I'm going to use third finger instead of third at the top of page 39 here. And I can reach up, but now I can use 4. So I'm just in this position for one beat, and then I collapse. Here. Then reach up thumb. 2, 3. And here you can just stay here if you want. Go in second line. And then crunch up thumb. Then again up here. And then up here. See, if this is second line, third measure, here, you're here. If this is a stretch for you to go on, then use a different finger. So I can use third finger, I can use fourth finger, I can use any finger I want, I just whichever. This makes it easier to reach the A. And then the last measure there, you see the 2-1, we've had this before, it's this finger substitution. I play it with second finger, and then while I'm holding it down, I put thumb on it. So I substitute one finger for this way I can reach the next note. And that's the reason. I mean, if you can reach that note without it, that's fine, but you gotta have pretty big hands. So this makes it easier. And do this finger substitution immediately. Here. Here. Then you can lift up and go on here. I mean, I'd like to connect that. Well, I could actually, because I can do another finger substitution on that note. I can play a fifth and I can put thumb on it. And now I'm ready for it. However, you're going to lift up after the fermata. It's a new phrase and everything, and if you'd rather just lift up and move, that's fine too. So I'll give you the choice. You play it with 5 and then move, or play it with 5 and then put thumb on it. 5-1. And then you're ready. So put the hands together, and we're here. These eighth notes are by themselves. Make sure you lift up in the right hand. Okay, let's go to the top of page 39. From here. Tricky there. Let's go to the second line on page 39. You're here. And then go on. Yeah. Then go back through and get rid of the hesitation so it's a steady beat throughout. And then we'll think about the articulation. This is pretty connected. These chords, you can't connect them, but don't play them short either. Here, I want to connect these. They got this slurred. Remember with slurs, maybe I didn't tell you before, I don't remember what I told you before, but with a slur, the idea is you connect all the notes within the slur. Now remember that line can be used for a phrase, and you don't necessarily connect all the notes in a phrase. You have to decide, is it a slur or a phrase? Here, these are slurs. That's too short for a phrase. So you connect the note within the slur. But you don't always lift up before or after a slur. It depends on the music. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That's interpreting the music. Do you think it should be? In my opinion, you should connect all of this in the left hand, the melody, just lift up for the phrases if you can figure out where the phrases are. Well, to do that, I got to play the melody a little quickly so I can hear it. So in my mind, that was 2 phrases. I went all the way to the end of the first line here and then lifted up. So it's like it was a pickup beat to the next one. So I would lift up there. Otherwise, I would have connected all of it. On page 39, the same thing. Start with a phrase. Lift up. Then lift up. So I'm lifting up between the phrases. Otherwise, I'm connecting it all. The idea with the slurs is they're telling you to connect those notes, because if they don't, it's really up to you. You could disconnect these notes. I could disconnect all these other notes if I wanted to. That's interpretation. I can put in staccatos. I do whatever I want. It's interpretation. It depends on how do I feel this music. You have to experiment with it and try it out and see. I think it's better submarine underwater and all. It's kind of a smoother thing. You're not going to get a lot of staccatos underwater, I don't think. Then we think about the dynamics. Well, MP, mezzo piano, and that's the melody. Moderately soft, and that's the left hand here. Whatever you think moderately soft is. These chords need to be really soft. Over on page 39, you go up to moderately loud, mezzo forte. Second line, you get a crescendo. You're going to go up to loud here in the second measure. Second line here, a little louder, here. That's the left hand. The right hand can come up a little bit, but it's got to be softer than the left hand. And the ritardando, you slow down there. Then the fermata, you just hang on to that to what feels right. And then when you're ready, you go on back to moderately soft. If I do it with a metronome, I'll hold that fermata 4 counts instead of 2 because I need to stay with the metronome. But otherwise, you feel it. And then at the bottom, you slow down again. down and hold that out as long as you think it's right. That fermata at the bottom, is it? Okay. Well, I do it with a metronome. I'll hold that half note in the right hand down 4 counts instead of 2. See, I take the smaller number, the smaller note, and I double that to stay with the metronome, whatever it is. Finally, we add the speed. Marato's just in the middle, what feels right. I don't know. Not fast or slow, just whatever feels right to you, that's good enough. Now you get into the interpreting it. Well, start with the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Go to here. 2, 3. And on these, the second one is a little louder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So. Feel the natural accents all the way through. Exaggerate them if you have to at first, but then eventually you just want to feel them. So we've already done a lot of the interpretation because of the dynamics and the articulation we put in. That's all part of interpreting the music. The speed's part of interpreting the music. So you feel this. If you feel it's getting a little louder, softer somewhere, then go with it. Please don't copy me. You get into it and you feel it and you make it yours. Get into the music. Let's play it together slowly and double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to do both hands about the same. I can't slow down. The metronome won't slow down. And on these fermatas, I'm going to hold the half notes 4 counts instead of 2. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just play it together. You should be playing the same note I'm playing when I play it. 1, 2, ready, go. Go on. Hold, 2,